All right, we are recording. So you can start when you're ready. And Jamie's online too.
Hi, Eva. Oh, and there's Jamie. Okay, great. Okay. Am I on? Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Call the meeting to order at 4:30. Eva and Jamie are here online. So we're all here. We're all here, present and accounted for. So some things we need to do tonight. Jamie and Eva, I'm assuming you have copies of the minutes. Is that correct? No, Eva? Okay. Well, we have three sets of minutes that we need to approve tonight. One is for May the 13th. One is for September 9th and October, is that right? And October the 19th. So May the 13th, do we want to do them separately, do you think?
Yeah, probably should.
Okay, that might be less confusing. So those that have reviewed them, have you reviewed the May 13th? And we need a motion for that.
I'd so move.
Okay. Do we need a motion? Can I second it or I can't? Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Jamie and Eva agree. So it passes unanimously. Then we have September 9th minutes that we need to review and approve. So I apologize. I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing tonight. I'm starting to get a migraine, so I have things that are flickering. So if I mess up, forgive me. So September the 9th, have you had time to review that? And Eva, do you have a copy of those either? You have none of them. And Jamie, do you have any of them? No? Okay. Do you want to approve them without everyone reviewing them, or?
I'd move to go ahead and approve them.
Okay. Are you two ladies comfortable doing that? Okay. I'll call for, I need a second, and I will do that. And so now we'll vote on approval for the September the 9th minutes. I'm not hearing either one of you, so is it on our end, Brandon?
They're both muted, so if they have things they'd like to add, they'll just have to unmute themselves.
Okay, I think, Eva, are you on now?
Yeah, I'm on now.
Okay, Jamie, how about you?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, so all in favor of the September 9th minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes unanimously, and we will go along to the October 19th minutes that need to be reviewed. And we need a motion on those if you guys are comfortable with that.
I'd move to approve those.
Okay. And I second those. And all in favor of that motion?
So I can't vote on this one because I did not attend that meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. Jamie, you were here, so. Okay, so Dawn, are we all in
Yes.
agreement except, and Eva is abstaining because she was not here. Okay, we'll move right along. Have we lost them? Okay.
No, I'm showing the library packet board on as part of the meeting, sharing it on the screen so they can see as well.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So we're just know that they're there. Okay, good. We'll have the report of the librarian.
So I can't really tell if somebody's talking or not. I can't hear the discourse.
Yeah, it's hard with these masks. Maybe Megan can go ahead and take it off. Or...
We'll try a different mat. Let's see if this works. Can you
Yeah,
hear me
that's
now?
much better. Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, I can hear better now.
Okay. Brandon gave me a new mic. I just want to thank Diane for running curbside services by herself for a week when we had to be closed. She did a great job. Had a number of people every day coming and picking up the materials. The city council for unfinished business, you can just cover that now.
Okay.
City council approved the 3-month period for waiving fines for overdue materials. And then we'll start advertising that very soon. More than we shared the new era thing, and that was on the front page as well. Feedback we've been getting from patrons has been very good. We've had actually a lot more. We've had more than the normal amount of materials returned. Some stuff that had been out for a little bit long, it's starting to come back already. So that's good. And we've had a lot more people, even some people that have been 5 or 6 years since they've been to the library. They've been coming in or calling us at least and saying, what do I need to use my card again? So that's kind of what we were wanting, and that's what we're getting. So that's good. New business updates for the collection. We finished reading the adult nonfiction and the YA nonfiction. We'll be getting new and updated materials very soon. They've been ordered. Shipping, as you know, is taking a while for anything right now. So we'll get those onto the shelves as soon as we get them. And then the new materials are updating a lot of topics that we might have had something on previously, and then adding some new topics as well, especially for the YA teen nonfiction stuff. We had a very small collection that was not used that well because it was so out of date. So we're updating a lot of that to hopefully get some more use for that. We're working on weeding the paperback and the Western collections for the condition that they're in and the length of time since they've been last checked out. We're getting rid of some stuff that hasn't checked out in at least 4 or 5 years, depending on the title and the author. Some of the authors, we know people are slowly reading the series, so we're not weeding those yet. And then we're adding more authors and titles as people are requesting them and as we see some holes in the collection. Once we have a little bit more space in that area on the shelves in that little horseshoe-shaped area, we're going to try moving over some of our large print materials to that area because we've had patrons asking specifically for a large print collection. We have the materials. They're just interfiled with either the fiction or the nonfiction. And there's patrons that would like to just browse stuff in large print. Building stuff. The carpet was cleaned last week. It looks awesome. That huge stain and tape marks that were right in front of the circ desk are gone. The carpet cleaning guy was out of Lebanon. He was awesome to work with. Cleaned it by himself in 4 hours. And he could still see some stains, but probably nobody else in the world could see stains. So that's good. We're working with Sean from Facilities, Public Works to get some upgrades done to some of our shelves so that books and stuff won't fall off on the back. Because some shelves are like a straight shelf and there's like back-to-back shelves and books can fall through to the other side or down the middle. So he's going to help us make some stoppers for that. And also while we were closed that week, the HVAC was cleaned and new filters were installed. It just happened to be the yearly time for that. We're going to be offering some make and take kits for December. We're looking at a few different options, but something with a folded book art and some tree ornaments. We're also offering a very quick, a grateful tree craft for Thanksgiving. Put it out yesterday. It's just a thing, create a little tree with leaves that say what you're grateful for. And we're trying to focus on stuff for all ages and families for the stuff we're doing for make and takes. For grants and donations, the property that we had in Colorado has sold. It's going to give us a good solid base for seed money for a new library. Brandon probably will update you on that. We received our annual endowment from the Oregon Library Association. I have no idea what this is for, but it's $1,000 that we receive every year, apparently. I'm happy with that. And then we received the Ready to Read grant from the State Library for 2022. Got approval for that last week. So that's close to $1,700 for Ready to Read geared books for like picture books and learning how to read. And a little bit of it will go to summer reading for next year as well. I've applied for another grant to possibly grow the teen graphic novel collection, get some titles that we don't have, and I know that would be loved in the community. I should find out about that one mid-December. And then we're just continuing to look for other ideas for programming and partnerships and other grants. We have a few that are due in a few weeks that I'm just reaching out to some people to try to figure out something. They're mostly for programming. So it's kind of, you have to kind of have a speaker in mind before you can apply. So just working on some of those. So that's about all I've been doing the last month. And we can do all this because we have such a great staff and great volunteers that help us a lot.
Sounds like you got quite a bit of work done on the library with everybody being sick. So that kind of was a good part of that.
Yeah, it was already scheduled for all of those
Yeah.
things, but
Isn't
it was
that
just
funny?
It
Yeah.
was good timing.
Yeah, good timing. Good timing. Okay. So fiscal report, Brandon, I assume that's you.
That is me.
Okay.
So I don't have a ton to update you all on, just as only a month has passed, and it's one of our slower months generally. We're still kind of in the upswing of our revenue generation and our overall expenditures for the year. But a couple of things. The library fees line, generally budgeted $5,000 a year. If you'll remember, based on the recommendation from this advisory board and action by the council, library fees are no more as far as late fees and kind of that fine-free library. So I expect to see that library fee revenue just kind of drop off for the next 3 months. So you shouldn't see much of a change other than I think that we're keeping replacement fees for books that are damaged and stuff like that. But I imagine you'll see that library fee line kind of hover right where it's at for the next 3 months. That's not going to have a detrimental effect to the overall budget. We're certainly not overly concerned about the fact that it's only $5,000. So in the grand scheme of things, it's rather small.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Let me interrupt you just a second.
Sure.
I want to make sure the ladies can hear you. Eva, are you and Jamie able to understand and hear Brandon? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. No problem.
Okay, good.
On the property tax revenue front, we are seeing an increase in delinquent property taxes being paid. So this report is through October. We have started in November to receive our current year property taxes. There's nothing earth-shattering out of that, given that we were already projecting a $10,000 overall increase for the year, and the actual revenue generation is showing that's about to be true. And we haven't seen any excess revenue come in, or for that matter, any deficit. So still in line with our expectations, but we are seeing a small increase in delinquent property taxes. Sounds like folks are kind of getting caught up on some of those that were behind. So we're excited about that. So that takes care of the revenue side. On the expenditure side, we're still sitting pretty low. Personal services, that's our staffing. We've spent about 25% of our overall budget for the year. Through September, 25% is about where we would expect to be, but now one more month, we would have expected to see that a little bit higher. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that and see what it looks like as we continue. On the materials and service side, certainly that can be seasonal of sorts. And so as they're just getting into the swing of adding to the collection and getting things taken care of inside the library, we'll start to see some more expenditures occur. Without the charges, the administrative and finance charges for service, we're sitting at about 16% of the budget expended. Fairly typical for the library at this point in the year as they kind of reassess and over the winter kind of restock the library as folks come in and out more with the rain. So otherwise, that's all I have there. I can tell you, Megan highlighted the property in Colorado. We do have the number for that. It is almost $900,000 that we expect to receive in the form of a check. The paperwork has been sent off to the attorneys that are handling the living trust. So we expect to see that. I don't know, maybe in the next couple of months. It kind of depends on the process and everything. But the funds are ready. Documents have been signed and everything. So once we receive that, we'll certainly let you know. That's all I have, unless there's questions.
Brandon, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Number one is, what are those $900 that we're getting from the sale of that property? What are they geared to?
That money is going to be specifically set aside for the purpose of a new library. While that process is ongoing, it'll sit in an equipment reserve dedicated for the library. So we'll monitor that on the outside. It will gain interest earnings.
So are those kept separate? So the library is getting the interest money off that, which is very minimal.
Yes. So it's set into a project and equipment reserve that furnishes the whole city where.
So it's a reserve fund that's set up.
Yes, but specific interest earnings are based. We distribute those out based on how much each department has in that overall fund. So the library, on that $900,000, will get to keep whatever interest earnings the city receives based on a prorated amount for the library overall. And we could go through that when we do budget development with the library board. We can kind of show you where that fund is at today for the library, and you can kind of see where those funds are going to be sitting.
And the other thing was that of the projected amount of dollars that are coming in from Lynn County, what percentage is that anticipated at 97% or what?
As far as what we expect versus what's billed kind of thing. So we budget for 96% of what is mailed out. We assume a 3% discount, which if people pay their bills early, then they get a 3% discount. And we assume a 1% delinquency on that. So we expect to receive 96% of what the county actually distributes out in the form of bills.
Okay.
So, anyone have any more questions for Brandon? Questions for Brandon? No? Okay. Megan, are you the one that does the statistics? Okay.
That's me.
Looks like that's next.
Are there any questions? I don't want to just read numbers at you. One thing I'll point out is the item count is lower than last month, obviously, because we have been weeding and new stuff hasn't necessarily been added yet. If you come in and see Joy's desk, you'll know that number will go right back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because she's taken over the counter, the table behind her and the counter next to her as well. So.
Okay. All right. Done the unfinished business, is that correct?
Unless you guys have anything else that was unfinished. I don't think there was, other than the library fines.
Okay.
So I have a question about the library fines because I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay.
But we had discussed terminating library fines at least a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, and we did that. So I was wondering why this time we opted to recommend that the fines be eliminated only for 3 months, because really it's the standard of practice, at least from the ALA and other professional organizations, to just not have fines.
Do you have? Megan, do you have an answer for her?
That was the board's decision from last time. I know when Rose has previously done the final elimination, it's just been for the length of summer reading and for the summer reading cards. So it's usually been like a 3-month thing.
Right.
The board itself decided on the 3-month trial period.
So I would just like to recommend that when this, if and when this comes back up after 3 months, that we just eliminate fines, period, get this over with, and meet a community standard.
I'll definitely take that into consideration, and I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think we're probably all kind of leaning towards that. There was just some discussion, and Eva, there's a little bit more information in the minutes. So if you get a copy of the October 19th minutes,
Oh, okay.
there's a section in there that sort of explains what happened and why we did it. And I think we're all probably in agreement with you about just making that happen. But this is sort of the route that we took.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you for that reference.
Sure. Okay, you bet. Okay.
And I know City Council was also on board with making it a permanent thing after our 3-month trial.
So any new business then?
Yes.
Don has new
Do
business.
I have to?
Yes, you do. There you go.
All right. We should have elected new officers back in July, I believe it is. And I've mentioned this a couple of times. It hasn't appeared on the agenda yet. And I would, at this time, go ahead and make a motion to approve the election of
Okay, you to have an election for the board, is that what
Yes.
you're saying? Okay, all right. Do you want to do that with the others members gone, or you're still on, Don? You're still on.
Yeah, I would recommend or nominate Charlene at this time. I have worked with her for probably the last 50 years.
Now let's not talk about
on
years.
boards and committees, and I was always enjoyed her participation, and I would therefore nominate Charlene as being the president.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. I'm not quite sure the protocol here.
Nominations. for
Okay, if are there any other nominations at this time? If not, we'll have a vote on that. So, okay, all in favor of bossy me being the chair? Need see Jamie's hand, okay, and Don, okay, well, it looks like, at least for the moment, I'm going to be board chair. Thank you so much for your trust in me, I guess. Is the
Our
word I want.
condolences.
Our condolences. So then we need a vice chair. And what are the, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared for this, thank you. Brandon's going to look up what we need. So
Vice Chair.
we need the vice chair. We
Yeah.
do know that. So
Beyond that, nothing.
beyond that, nothing. Okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
think I'm always the secretary.
You what?
I'm always the secretary.
Yes, Megan's already, the librarian is always the secretary. So we need a motion for a vice chair. And I will entertain that motion from someone. Don, do you have a? Let's see. Who makes the motion?
Pardon?
Who makes the motion for vice chair?
Anybody.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion for that? Okay, I'll make a motion for Don to be the vice chair, and then he has to do this. You have a second for that?
I'll second that.
Okay. And if there are no other nominations, then I will entertain a vote on that. So all in favor? Okay. I apologize for being so clumsy at this. I wasn't prepared. Okay, all right. Was that it? Is that all, Brandon? Okay,
Yes,
All
the code just says a chair and a vice chair.
okay. So looks like we're in good shape then, and Dawn got us back in order. So thank you so much. So is there any other business that we need to take care of? All right, well, we will adjourn.
I just
Whoops,
like
wait a minute.
one more
Okay,
comment, and that was, it would be good if the city would go ahead, or our librarian, call the members of the board and remind them of these meetings
oh,
like the day before.
okay. Do you want something more than you don't get emails, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, Dawn does not. Eva, do you and Jamie both have emails? You do, don't
Yeah,
you?
I don't need a call. I'm okay with emails.
So I think all of us are okay with that, but Dawn does not have an email. So we need to make sure that he gets notification at least the day before. Is that okay?
Yeah. it'd be
Okay, just
excellent.
to be a
Because I
reminder.
don't plan on going ahead and getting email just to go ahead and serve on this board.
Oh. I can't imagine why. Okay, so if someone could, and I don't know who that might be, it might be Julie or Megan and if I
Joy
think about
actually
it,
has
I'll
been-
call.
Joy has been volunteering to do that.
Oh,
We just got the packet together a little late last night, so that's why it took a little bit longer this time. I
Okay.
think Joy was supposed to call this morning.
okay, that's a good question. Reminds me, do we need to get the packets from you, from the library, from Joy, or do we need to get it from city, from Julie?
It would be probably through the library and we can have the packet for you, waiting for you if we get it earlier. Get
Okay.
together earlier. It's just the last several weeks or this entire month has been a little bit off for
Okay,
all of us trying to catch up still.
okay,
Because we
other
were
good-
closed we were only open 2 days last week because
Right.
of an extended Veterans Day and then closed the week before. So we were just a little behind on everything and not remembering what week it was.
okay, and we're actually late a week this time, so it's going to make our December 9th meeting seem like it's very quick, but we should be back on track at that time. So somebody will call you, Dawn, so if you get 6 phone calls, don't be surprised. And so we should do that then. So just a reminder again, the next library board meeting will be December the 9th, and everyone have a great Thanksgiving.
No, wait, I've got a question. I have one more
Yes.
question. I'd like to meet our new board member.
Oh, you weren't here last month, were you? This
No, I wasn't.
I'm so sorry. Please introduce yourself. She's from the junior high and she's a student for this on our board now.
My name is Mealy, and I'm in 7th grade from the junior high.
Did you hear, Eva?
Well, yeah, about 70% of it.
Yeah, yes. So anyway, she is
Okay.
from the seventh grade, and so
Yeah.
she represent the junior high, and we've been very blessed to have her here. So
Yeah, we're so happy you're there. Thank you.
all right. Anything else? I'm not trying to rush you, but all right, we're done then for the night. So it's 5 o'clock now. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. I know that was rushed and kind of clumsy, but